Nigerians have demanded economic growth as President Bola Tinubu is expected to submit the much-awaited ministerial list to the National Assembly in the next 24 hours for screening. A presidential aide who demanded anonymity in a chat with the Punch on Tuesday said the president stretched the submission of the list to the last days to ensure that the list was inclusive and reflective of what was best for the country. The list, which is expected to be a mixture of technocrats and tested politicians, the source revealed, would have more technocrats who would help drive the president's renewed hope agenda for the next 4 years. The Fifth Amendment to the 1999 Constitution mandates the President and Governors to submit the names of their ministerial and commissioner nominees within 60 days of taking the oath of office for confirmation by the Senate or State House of Assembly. Tinubu, who was sworn in as President on May 29, has to submit his ministerial list to the Senate before July 29, as stipulated by law. Speaking against the backdrop of the constitutional deadline, the presidential aide said President Bola Tinubu will transmit the ministerial list to the National Assembly tomorrow. He has stretched the transmission of the list to the federal lawmakers to ensure that he gets it right. One thing is certain, the list is going to be a mixture of technocrats and tested politicians. The president has made it clear that his decisions for the next 4 years, starting with the ministerial list, would be guided by what is right for Nigeria and not political considerations. When pressed for the names on the list, another aide who did not want his name mentioned said, "One thing we have been told is that the ministerial list is something the commander-in-chief is keeping close to his chest." However, in the last few weeks, various names had been bandied around as possible ministerial nominees, including former Kaduna State Governor Nazir El-Rufai, ex-Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, Wale Edun, the Special Advisor, Monetary Policies, and a host of technocrats and politicians. Tinubu sought prayers. Meanwhile, the Senate majority leader, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, on Tuesday said the president sought prayers of Nigerians for him to make the right choice. Bamidele disclosed this while speaking in Abuja at his 60th birthday lecture and book presentation titled Leadership Through Communication. Bamidele said Tinubu, who was billed to be the father of the day, called to say he could not make it to the event because of ongoing work to ensure that the ministerial list is delivered to the Senate in the next 48 hours, he said at 10:03 a.m. this morning. Mr. President was on the phone. He said to me, "Opeyemi, I need to make myself unavailable in the next 48 hours because a correspondence must come to the Senate, a very crucial correspondence. Mr. President, prayed for me. He asked me to give the phone to my wife and he prayed for my wife. He said the two of us should join the rest of Nigerians and pray for him to be able to make the right decisions on the list in 24 hours so that when Nigerians hear the list of his ministers, they will say, yeah, this is uncommon. Agitation in Bayelsa. Meanwhile, some stakeholders of the All Progressive Congress in Bayelsa State have kicked against alleged desperate attempts by former President Goodluck Jonathan to nominate the person for the state ministerial slot in Tinubu's cabinet. The stakeholders under the auspices of the Bayelsa APC Elders Council condemned Jonathan's move, saying it was wrong for him to rape where he did not show. Speaking in Yenagoa on Tuesday, the chairman of the Elders Council, Chief Michael Ademokem, wondered why the former president was angling to produce a minister after actively and openly supporting the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, during the 2023 presidential election. He said Jonathan was treading the path of unfairness and injustice, stressing that his desperation could be likened to someone seeking to receive salaries from a company he did not work for. Ademokem, however, expressed confidence that Tinubu, as a known rewarder for hard work, would not allow a situation of monkey work, baboon chop. The APC elder said people shouldn't try to reap where they have never sowed. Some of us have been here since the early days of this party when it was considered to be taboo just by being a member. You all remember APC in Bayelsa was called either Islamic Party or Hausa Party by these same people. I mean Jonathan and his people. Fast forward to the 2023 elections. President Jonathan did everything to make sure we failed, but we didn't as God would have it. What right has he to suddenly want to now nominate the minister from Bayelsa State? Some capital market operators on Tuesday stated that the ministerial list and the portfolios of the ministers would have an impact on the sustainability of the bullish run of the market's Nigerian set agenda. Ahead of the expected unveiling of the ministerial nominees today, different professional and trade union associations have set agenda for the incoming Federal Executive Council members, even as they demanded the appointment of competent persons to drive national development. The Nigerian Bar Association said the president and his ministers must improve the security situation in the country. Speaking in an interview with one of our correspondents on Tuesday, the NBA Publicity Secretary Habib Lawal also urged the president and his minister to scale up investment in agriculture. Lawal said, "They must look critically at the peculiarities of our security situation and design bespoke measures to deal with them while ensuring that continental, cross-border and international collaborations are carefully exploited to deal with our security challenges. We must consider diplomatic strategies to address these issues because of the global trends in security. Also, the government must deliberately and heavily invest in agriculture among other sectors of our economy. We expected that commensurate investment will be made to actualize the enthronement of the rule of law and to build that judiciary that can be trusted to deliver justice and strengthen our institutions. Talk Speaks, the Trade Union Congress, on its part, advised the incoming ministers of labor, finance and budget planning to ensure industrial harmony, stressing that a country surmounted by industrial actions will not grow. The National Deputy President of the TUC, Tinubu, stated this, admonished Tinubu to assign the labor portfolio to a labor-friendly person. The team said it is expected that the president will assign the labor portfolio to an individual who is labor-friendly. The minister who will take workers' welfare as a priority, who can build a block of the relationship between the government and the workers, underscoring the centrality of labor to national economic development. The labor leader argued that no amount of infrastructure could replace workers. Any nation surmounted by industrial strike and never grow. Labor plays a very important role. The ministers must have understand that labor has a very important value. These are critical areas: finance, budget, labor, that have to do with the well-being of the country. Ministers that will tell the government the truth about labor relations so that the positive agenda will be split over to the state, because issues that affect labor are in the exclusive list, and it shows that whatever happens at the federal level will spill to the states. A team submitted. National Vice President of the Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, Solomon Aderoju, outlined infrastructural deficiency, capacity building, funding, and poor power supply as key issues that must be resolved to boost the viability of small-scale enterprise in the country. He added that the ministerial appointment should not be a political gamble to compensating competent individuals. Thank you for listening.